what are they doing wrong or what are they doing right? Okay. So I will say that Kiranas are born entrepreneurs, right? And unlike many of the startups which are used to burning the investors' money, and they say they are burning cash to acquire customers, Kiranas cannot survive even even for a month by making losses. So they have to run a profitable operation, right? And when you have competitors burning cash, both online and offline competitors, and you have the important mandate or requirement for survival to be profitable every single month, it's not going to be easy. So you have to be very resilient, very entrepreneurial. So what the Kiranas have done right is, first of all, the relationships they have built with the customers in their neighborhood. So they're not going after everybody. They focus on 200 to 300 to 400 families in the neighborhood. They have a very deep relationship and bonding with these families. And I will say they are very, very efficient in terms of last mile delivery. So if you place an order, they don't have a requirement of minimum order value. They offer free delivery. They deliver very fast. They also carry the right local and relevant assortment. For example, in India, there are so many festivals, and during festivals, a lot of people eat vegetarian food, vegan food, a particular type of atta, for instance, in northern part of the country. It's very difficult to find that online. But the Kiranas carry that. They know that, okay, during Navratris, I need to stock these 15 different products because my customers will ask for it. They also know how many families are Marwadis and how many of them are Jains and how many of them are Kujus or Punjabi and what they buy, right? They also know earlier they would intuitively know the purchase pattern of every single household. If you now teach them the science of retail and put that information across using analytics, it makes them better equipped to increase share of wallet by doing cross promotions on the relevant categories for these 300, 400 customers, right? The other thing is cost. There is a saying in retail or wholesale business that if there is a price war, and we are seeing a price war in retail and also wholesale, the company with the lowest cost structure will be the ultimate winner, will be the final survivor. And I think nobody does it better than Kiranas in terms of running low cost operations. They don't have too much of extra labor. It's the family members who are involved in running their trade. They pay very minimal rent. It's typically an old lease, right? They don't burn a lot of electricity. They don't have air conditioning. They don't employ fancy gadgets or devices or people to deliver. They have probably one or two boys who will deliver on a cycle or maybe even on foot. So they have mastered the art of running a low cost operation, right? And now they're also buying efficiently, which was one of their big weaknesses. So people like us are able to be a one-stop shop to them and supply them goods at a rate which is lower than what they were buying at earlier, even if it is 2 or 3% cheaper than what they were paying earlier. Given that their margins are about 12%, gross margins 13%, their operating profits go up by almost 20-25% if they're able to source cheaper. So we tell them that, you come with us and, we will give you the buying muscle that you lack as an individual Kirana shop owner, because we are buying not just for you, but millions of Kiranas. So the kind of prices you can get from us, you won't get from anybody else. On top of that, we don't have any vested agenda in terms of pushing a certain product line of a certain company. We push what sells, right? So they don't also have to block their precious working capital in slow moving inventory. That's also is one of the differentiators that we offer. And we are also the first ones to share with them the emerging customer trends. I was mentioning earlier in the summit that, frozen, the demand for frozen has gone up by leaps and bounds in the last 2-3 years. The demand for organic products, roasted snacks versus fried snacks of Haldirams. Of course, there is a segment of people who still feast on Haldiram, but a lot of people are eating healthier. They want roasted snacks. They wanted the use of millets is also on the rise, right? So all these things you tell them and they listen very carefully. They are the smartest business people that we have seen, and despite all the competition, all the hype and hoopla around e-commerce, startups, new age players, they have survived. In fact, the count of Kiranas in the country has actually gone up, not come down. And their share of the total food and market pie has also gone up, which is an ode to their entrepreneurship and their entrepreneurial skills. So that's what we can learn from them. So one is, we feel that it's important for the Kiranas to offer a better shopping experience, because right now all the orders that they get are on the phone. there are very few people actually who come and shop. They will send their household help or a driver to go and buy. So it's not a pleasant shopping experience. So if we can make the kiranas modernize, create an open format supermarket where customers will find it's a nice experience to come and shop, it will help drive sales of more profitable categories. So that's one area where they have to improve. Second thing is digitalization, because everybody now wants to have GST compliant invoices. You don't want those kacha paper bills anymore. So, and for that, if they keep a point of sale device, they capture all the buying information, the selling information, their inventory, and run like a modern ship, modern organization. I think it will eventually be very good for them in the long term. And finally, they have to be comfortable with usage of technology. Relationships matter, as we say, but in any business, relationships matter. But if you can combine relationships, the power of relationship with technology, right, it will be a very deadly combination. And that's what we encourage kiranas to do. I will say it's very important to look at two things. One is on time in full. First of all, whatever you are delivering to your customers, what is the on time in full rates? Because many people are getting away with virtually what I call murder. The fill rates are in the range of 65-70%. That's not world class. So how can you improve your on time in full to 95%? That's one, to your customers. And for that to happen, you also need to start from your supply chain. You need to demand a similar OTIF have a similar OTIF standard for your suppliers, 95%. The reason, if it is not 95% and 65%, what happens is you're carrying a lot of extra inventory, right? I know that many of the retailers in the country are running inventory which is in excess of 30 days, 45 days. The payment terms are 15 days. So you're actually, blocking up valuable cash. And why should it be so difficult? If you operate in the metropolitan cities, you should be able to run your, business with 7 days of inventory. Why 31 days or 30 days? That's a big requirement, because the big suppliers are getting away with inefficiency. So that's my big challenge to both the suppliers as well as retailers who are servicing their customers. Get the fill rates up. This will lead to a lot of, I will say, efficiency in the operations. Currently, a lot of wastage because of this. Second thing is, again, very important to what I call consolidation. How do you optimize your delivery routes, right? A lot of people in India, because the OTIF some suppliers are so bad, they have warehouses. They have fulfillment centers or warehouses or dark stores, whatever you want to call them. And then so there is a mother depot and there is a child depot, and then there is the ultimate buying point or customer selling point. So we believe, our philosophy has been that so many extra layers mean there is inefficiency in the system. So we do almost 100% DSD, 100% direct store delivery, right? And for that to happen, you also have to be thoughtful about your assortment. You can't carry everything. There's a huge cost to carrying everything. If you look at one of the most successful retailers in the world, it's a company called Costco, right? They run 135,000 square feet stores, big stores. Can you imagine how many SKUs they have? 4,500. Only 4,500. In India, normally this belief is that you should have 1 lakh SKUs and 2 lakh SKUs, carry every single thing. No, it's not possible. If you want to do it, there's a huge cost. You will never run a profitable operation. So for people to run a profitable operation, it's very important to have a very lean and mean supply chain. In India, we keep on adding SKUs, but we also need to look at rate of sale of different articles, old products, and see what kind of rate of sale we are doing, and should have the discipline to cancel and delete the slow moving SKUs, which nobody does.